What's up, guys? Welcome to the Insiders of Omaha podcast. It is an absolute joy today to bring you an introduction to an amazing person that I've met in my line of work. Her name is Lindsey. She is the owner and creator and a master brainchild behind the Makery here in Omaha, which I'm sure many of you are familiar with. But if you're not, it's a one-of-a-kind creative space where people come and create high-end crafts they are able to display in their homes, in the front of their doors, or wherever they might want to. And she's just a one-of-a-kind person. The facility that she's created and the space she's created is one of a kind. And the way she thinks and operates is also one of a kind. And I know you guys are going to get a ton of value out of how she has grown her business in a very unique space that's really undeveloped. And she is making her own, and she is an absolute boss. So I can't wait for you guys to hear her interview.
Yeah, definitely one of my favorite podcasts so far. I don't know about you, but yeah, I absolutely love this one. The energy was great. So I'm looking forward to that. Hey, one other thing, guys, just a little housekeeping thing here. As always, the only way that these kind of things grow, this kind of podcast grows, is by everybody sharing it, word of mouth and social media, texting it to their friend. So if you would do that for us, share it with one of your friends, tell your friends about it if you found any value out of this podcast. We'd really appreciate you doing that. And without further ado, let's get into Lindsey's podcast.
So did you guys get your house rented? No,
we're working on it. Kind of working on it. We need to work harder. We've been so lazy. Like the boys are just in this cute age where all we want to do is just play with them.
Oh, that's good.
No, but like now we're paying for a house that's just sitting there. Which is so dumb. So we've literally probably put like 10 hours of work into it.
Oh my!
And it's been a month and a half, maybe.
I mean, you gotta be pretty close, so because it's pretty ready.
Yeah, I redid the fireplace in the basement.
Okay, did you paint it white or black or what?
I like whitewashed.
Oh, does it look good? I bet it looked good.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
And then James ripped out all the carpet, and he's doing like LVT.
Okay, super simple, but it takes time.
Yeah. So then, when that's done, then it'll be pretty much ready to go. But
that's good.
Just I don't know. Just been playing with the boy. I have zero good excuses. Like all we do is just.
Well, and how old is it? Hunter? Is it the oldest one?
Branch.
Branch. How,
he's like 3.5.
So they're like funny.
Did you just mix up Hunter and Branch?
Well,
they're both kind of earthy names.
I like that. They are granola names.
Yeah, a little crunchy. Yeah,
that's funny.
Yeah.
My wife says she's a crunchy mom.
Oh, really?
Have you heard that term before?
Yeah.
Crunchy mom.
I mean, it's like granola.
Very granola, very of the earth.
Like very,
a lot of beige colors.
I'm going to start using that.
Yeah, crunchy mom.
Kind of crunchy.
Yeah,
kind of
what? That's pretty funny. There's some truth to it too.
I think so. I think there definitely is. Like, I prefer to shop at Whole Foods, but I don't really care to spend that kind of money. But that would be, that's like, feel good about wearing bamboo clothing.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of stuff.
We were in Whole Foods on our date night the other night, which was a blast, right?
Yeah.
Well, actually was fun. That's the funny part of it. But grocery shopping without kids is like a magical experience.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Magical.
It is like a date.
It is.
We used to go to
I was in there and I was like, I'm full of bliss in here right now.
You know, I can move about freely. I'm not pulling.
Maybe I'll go down this aisle.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
So many options.
Don't worry about my kids getting stolen. This is awesome.
But we were in there and she was like, oh, what do you think of these clothes? And I was like, those are very vegan chic. And she was like, okay, I won't get them. Thank God. It's like there's no like shape to the dress. It's just straight down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
One color, no logos, vegan chic.
Yep.
Saturday used to be their wine tasting day, and you could go in at
that'd be nice.
1 to 4, and they'd have like all these wines set out you could just taste, and that's what Lindsey had before we had kids. And we'd go on a Saturday afternoon, go to the grocery in the morning, go there for an afternoon little, wine tasting, and before you know it, there's like a lot of people there because it's free wine.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And they shut that down once COVID hit. That's never been bad.
It's kind of crazy, like the amount of freedom you have before you have kids that you don't realize you have.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have this friend who doesn't have any kids, and they were like, "Oh, I'm just so tired." I was like, "What are you tired from? What are you're from sitting at home doing nothing with no one running around bothering you? What are you tired from?
Yeah, what are you getting up
You
for
worked 8 hours yesterday. Big whoop. What'd you do after that? You had no problems. You know what I mean? I'm like, what are you getting tired from, dude? But you don't realize it when you don't have it. You know what I mean? But it's kind of funny.
I always make fun of my friends that don't know how to return a phone call, and they have no other obligation to themselves. Like, I'm calling you when I have a free moment, and then I don't hear from you for 2 days. Like, you don't understand? Or you try to call me back at 7:30. What do you think's going on in my house?
Yeah.
It's a fucking witching hours. What's going on? I'm trying to survive and keep my head above water without killing my kids.
100%, man.
Yeah.
So, there is like this moment like between that I like, it goes through my head every single night. It's like 7 o'clock. I'm like, 45
45 minutes.
45 more minutes.
Are you guys late? Are you guys late, people?
We the kids go down at like 8 or 9.
Okay.
Yeah.
But usually at 7:30. 7:30, my husband pours me a glass of wine.
Yeah.
And he cracks a beer, and then we start that like
process.
Like, cheers, honey. Let's do it. We got this.
I think everyone does gotta have some sort of night ritual, and like
I start singing a song.
Oh,
I go, BT. Brush teeth. We go to bed. We don't wake up till 8 a.m. So I sing every single night. And my kids start clapping along. Yeah, we don't wake up.
That's really good.
And then they wake up at 5:30 and I'm like, damn it. The song doesn't work. Oh, sweet. Perfect, Dana. That's a stopwatch.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, that's perfect.
That's great.
For now. Yeah, that works for now.
So Lindsey.
Are you recording, Dana?
Are we good?
Oh, sweet.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Maybe you got my song in there.
Oh, that'd be good. Okay.
It's a good like intro song.
It'd be good. Good open credit. So have you ever done one of these before?
A podcast?
Yeah.
No, I listen to them all
I know
the
you
time.
always talk about when we've been at houses and you're like, oh, I listen to this podcast.
Yeah.
What's your
Love
favorite podcast?
I'm kind of into true crime a little bit, but then I really love
That's a gateway drug to podcasts.
Oh my gosh,
So you're into true crime a little bit, so you're probably really into it.
No, I've only listened to 2 like series
episodes.
Series.
Oh, 2 series.
I got into the.
That's pretty into it.
I got into the Murdoch trials.
Oh, yeah, we did too.
Like a year ago, and then now it like
a year ago.
Yeah.
Oh,
dang!
Like a year ago, I started listening to them, and now it's like blown up. But now I haven't.
She's the
listened to another
insiders
one.
of the Murdoch trial.
She's the insider of Murdoch.
I was telling my husband about it like a year ago. I'm like, this is nuts, and like all these.
It is a crazy.
He has so many opinions
about it.
If you don't know James is like this quiet guy.
He'd be a delight
until
to
you
have on your
crack the shell
podcast.
a little bit, and he's like just a waterfall. Like he'll tell you exactly what's on his mind.
That's awesome.
Yeah. No, I really love Michael Hyatt and like he has like like productivity kind of.
Okay.
He sells a planner too.
Yep.
But about,
I've seen his planner before.
Yeah, I haven't used it, but I like he talks about like the big 3 and how you're like at the start of your day, you think about like the 3 things that could really make some movement in your life or your day or whatever. And instead of like looking at a list of 30 things, you just have this like the big 3 and that's what you're focusing on. Like, it's very like goal oriented, like project management sort of stuff. But he has a couple of podcasts that I like.
That you listen to with guests, or how's he structure them?
Sometimes they have guests. A lot of times it's just them, and they have some interns that like come in and talk about
some kind of processes or something.
Just about like productivity, and I feel like that's such a big like hot topic.
Productivity.
Oh my gosh, yeah, just with life, just like getting things done at home or at work, or making the most of your.
Do you find it like how many kids do you have?
2.
So we all have 2 kids. Do you find it how old are your kids?
They're 2 and 3.
Okay, mine are 3 and 1, so really close. Easier or harder as you've gone along with being a parent, both of you? Like, find it harder or easier to start managing things, managing your time and being productive?
It's getting easier.
Okay, I would say the same for me.
Yeah,
for sure. I mean, just the fact that they can have some independent play.
Yeah.
And you don't have to worry about them choking on a dinosaur.
Yeah,
like, that's a nice.
That's a good. Or falling on staircase.
Yeah.
And just the sleep overnight. That makes a big difference on your day.
Once you can get through the night. Yeah.
Once you can sleep.
So me and my wife, we bought our first kid. We got blessed. Like she was so easy. She slept through the night starting on night 3 of being born.
Oh my!
12 hours a night ever since then.
Wasn't the hospital like, you're not supposed to do that? And you're like, yeah, I don't care.
Yeah. My wife was like, they said to wake her up, and I was like, we're going back to sleep.
No, you don't. She'll be fine.
Yeah, I was like, if she's hungry, she'll wake up. That's what I thought. Yeah. So we just got lucky with her. She just slept through the night, 12 hours from get go. We never had any issues with her really. She had one allergy that like scared us, but everybody has something, right? And then our second kid was a nightmare, dude. She would not sleep longer than like 2 hours at all for the first year. And I was like, we got to change this. My wife found a training.
Yeah.
On sleep training.
Yeah.
It was like pretty expensive. It was like $500 or something. And she was like, kept telling me about it. It was like, we should do this. I'm like, I'm going to spend $500 on a stupid video series. And then finally one night, I just not sleeping for a year straight. I was like, all right, let's do it. Night 1 of doing it, done.
Never looked back.
We did the training, did exactly what she said. She slept through the night ever since.
Was it called Taking Care of Babies? It's the best one.
Probably that probably is
the best one.
I just know that.
So you've been through this.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I just know that I'm like, dude, we're doing that with my wife's pregnant right now with a 3rd kid. I'm like, we're doing that from as soon as we possibly can. We're doing the sleep training again. I'm done with it. You know what I mean? So I don't know why I just got on that tangent, man. But,
that's all right. It's fresh to mind since your wife's pregnant.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But productivity with kids has gotten easier over time for me anyways.
Yeah.
For sure.
Curious with you having you're creative. Like you have a very, I would consider you more abstract. You have you're very idea oriented. Is it hard for you to stay structured in to accomplish things for the day?
100%.
Like even staying on task?
Yes. So hard. Just thinking of new ideas. Like everything's it inspires you, everybody. Right. And even like conversations inspire you. And I'm already thinking about this or new ideas or how to just make something better or change something up, ideas for the kids. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's hard.
How do you organize? I mean, I'm that way very much so. How have you organized it? Or have you ever attempted to try to like at least catalog or unload certain things so you can release your mind a little bit?
Honestly, the best thing that I do is just writing it all down or like voice memoing it really quick, in my notes, just so like word vomit.
You got to get it out of here.
It just makes my brain feel better. Whether or not I ever do anything with that weird idea, it's out of there, and I don't have to keep thinking. It's future Lindsey will take care of that. It's.
That's such a good word.
Future Lindsey, she's gonna have her shit together. She's gonna have her shit. She's gonna have like a nice cup of coffee in the morning. Yeah. Kids are gonna be off playing, and she's gonna tackle all of that.
She's gonna approach it at her own pace. Yep. Like there's nothing that can hurt.
Future Lindsey is involved.
That's such a good bite. That's funny. Did you have because you went to school to be an architect?
I did.
Oh, yeah. And that's a super intense program.
It was, yeah.
Was that UNL or where'd you go?
I went to Kansas State.
Okay.
And I got my master's there.
You're a huge engineering program, so I'm assuming it's very, pretty.
Yeah, it was really intense, really competitive.
Yeah.
It was good. I practiced for a while. I actually went into it thinking it was more of like a mathematical field.
Yeah.
What is it? I don't know, architecture, like you think like structural integrity and doing like the physics of it. But in fact, it's a liberal art degree.
Interesting.
And it really brought out that creative side that I had. And I don't know.
So
cool. What was that trend? You might already know this, but what did that transition be like how'd you go from that to what you're doing now in the Makery?
I practiced for a while at an architecture firm and it got pretty boring. There's so much traveling involved that I didn't really like anymore. Yeah. I was kind of over. I traveled so much when I was younger. I just was over it. Like, I just want to stay home now and just stay local.
Yeah.
But I was just doing a lot of like bottom level design work that somebody has to do, I guess, but it was really boring and it wasn't really challenging me.
Yeah.
So I quit, and then I was going to be a stay-at-home mom, but we had no kids. So,
stay-at-home wife.
My husband, well, he wasn't even my husband. We weren't even engaged yet. Yep. So I stayed home for, I don't know.
Stay-at-home side piece.
I don't know, basically. It's fine. No, it's fine. But like, it was maybe like 5 months of me just, I don't even know what I did.
Yeah.
Just chilling, like enjoying life. And my husband's like, you need to get a job. I'm like, all right, well.
Okay, I'll figure this out.
Okie dokie.
But you have a boyfriend. But you have a very entrepreneurial spirit, though.
Yeah, it's not like I was not doing anything. Right. I was, hanging out with my grandparents, coming up with ideas, doing all the yard work, and
See what feels good, like really.
Whatever. I don't know. Yeah, for sure. But then I was like, okay, I'll get a job, but I don't really want to work for someone. I want to work for myself. I'm going to do my own business, figure it out. And so initially I thought I was going to create like a t-shirt business, like heat pressing t-shirts on the spot for people. Yep. And I was kind of working through it, and I realized I don't really like t-shirts that much. Like it wasn't really my passion. So then my husband was the one that was like, what do you like? Like, let's talk about it. You like crafting and painting. How could we make that work? And so he really just talked it through, like, what could the business be? Like, what would you do? I'm like, oh, I could help people craft. And we talked about that and how to make it work. Yeah. Initially, it started out very small, and it was only crafts for kids. And just like a few kids would come in here and there. And I just, it was so small, so small. And then just slowly, like an adult would come in and say, hey, can I make something like this? And then it just kind of grew and grew and grew with the age of the like Pinterest and the internet. That really helped fuel it. Like,
how long ago was this that you started doing that?
It was in 2015, so 8 years ago.
So pretty long.
They just recently moved to a new space about a year and a half ago.
Yeah, in the same shopping center in the Bel Air Plaza.
Yeah,
it's a
beautiful,
great plaza.
Beautiful building.
Yeah. Yep.
Great
it's
frontage.
Awesome.
Has it increased your capacity?
Actually, no. The capacity is about the same as what I had before. Previously, I had two separate bays, that weren't conjoined. So this one bay, or this one big building that holds both bays now, the square footage is about the same.
But they're connected.
It's connected, so it just makes staffing and supplies and just everything so much easier.
Cohesiveness, and you get great frontage on center road.
For sure.
Awesome.
Yes.
So something I've always noticed with like artistic people, maybe I put you in that category a little bit, like being artistic and creative is, and I have a little bit of that, maybe not a lot. Everything I've done, like in business and stuff, has been on purpose. Like everything I've done has been like, okay, I'm going to do this. And then I execute it. Okay. This is my plan. Execute it. And every time I talk to someone creative, I'm almost envious, like of what you just said, where you're like, I started doing something and then this formed from it. I'm always like, God, that's crazy that something just formed from like a creative thought. And it wasn't like, my plan is to do, like, cause you do workshops and stuff now, right? My plan is to do workshops in a year. Like that's how my brain works. And it sounds like for you, it kind of flowed naturally into what you're doing now. Is that kind of right?
It is, yeah.
It's kind of like almost on accident. Like you started on purpose.
It's like the universe, like bringing it around and all the good vibes. All the good vibes.
It all crunched together.
It's a crunchy thing.
Yeah. That's cool.
But it's cool that it's honestly like the most wonderful part of it is like the Omaha community, like bringing all those ideas with mine and like just like vibing off of their ideas. They bring in, just what they want to do. And then it kind of like molds into maybe what I want to do and their ideas. And then I post a picture of what they made and it inspires like 10 more customers to come in and make the same thing.
Because they love it.
The same thing.
That's sweet.
And I think that's what's kind of cool about the industry that I'm in is that everyone has some creativity in them and they all kind of just like vibe off each other.
Yeah.
Well, the one thing I noticed being in real estate, and after helping you guys with some houses and stuff, I drive through neighborhoods. I'm like, that's a Makery. That's a Makery. That's a Makery. And they're everywhere.
Really?
Oh my gosh, they're everywhere. I mean, it's because you'll have groups of people come in at, 10 to 20 people every day. And so you're getting hundreds of door hangers out a day. And it's like, it's a week. And then it's very seasonal too. So it changes. People have one for every season, every holiday, every sporting team they have.
You guys have a lot of like repeat customers?
Oh,
probably a lot, huh?
A lot of regulars. Yeah.
That's awesome.
I mean, I go through houses and they'll be
stacked
stacked up in their storage room to shift them in through the seasons. That's the real thing.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
It makes sense though.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And you've obviously, in my mind, organized a very clean system to put it through. Like you're there for an hour or 2 hours. And you guys are able to, they walk home with a finished product. Was that important? Was that was always intended to be? Or was it like, get to where you get? Or is it, hey, we want them to be out of here and it's a finished deal?
It's nice to be a finished deal.
Yeah.
Otherwise, just the storing of the projects is really tricky. Once in a while, people don't finish, like maybe once a month or something. Someone might not finish because of a certain reason.
Yeah.
So then we have to like store that until they come back, which sometimes is just, it's just kind of inconvenient and it's just a space problem.
Yeah.
Because most things like what you do that's what they do. They're like when you go and do pottery, let's say.
Yes.
Then you're like, okay, they have to store the whole thing, cook it, whatever they do with it, right?
Bake it, yeah.
And we'll give it to you in 2 weeks or whatever. And it's like, I've always thought about that. I'm like, what a nightmare for them. They got to keep track of it all, make sure they don't lose it from the right person. And you know what I mean?
I wonder how many of those things get left.
I mean, a lot, right?
Because I feel like a lot of it's just in the experience, like the date night of like painting it together, whatever. And then, I don't know.
I'd probably say
like make
20,
that
at least 20% get left behind.
I would think so. I wonder.
I mean, does anybody isn't glass? I would say glass blowing similar. Like, can you go out and do glass blowing?
Glass blowing can be done right away, though.
Oh,
right.
It cools right away.
It cools
right.
Okay,
that would be cool.
That would be cool.
That'd be cool to go do.
I think there is a place downtown on why you can do that.
Some glass blowing.
Yeah,
pretty sweet.
That'd be pretty sweet.
Not as cool as a Makery, but pretty cool.
No. I mean, I want to walk away with a door hanger for life. Yeah. Well, kids,
I want to get burned by molten glass.
Yeah. Do you have what's like the demographic comes in?
I would say like 30 to 40, 30 to 50 year olds mostly.
Mostly women, some
really?
men?
Mostly women, I'd say like 90% women.
Yeah.
Maybe 95 even.
Yeah. Really?
Wow, that's cool.
Women come in like with their kids and stuff too?
Yep.
Is that a pretty common thing? Or grandkids?
Yeah, especially right now it's spring break for a couple of the school districts this week. So it's pretty full today.
I can picture my wife going there with our kids for sure.
And you started doing some corporate stuff even now too?
We do, and that's it was such a blessing during COVID when we didn't really have to shut down. We were kind of a weird in-between business model that didn't really fit into any of the things. Yeah. But people weren't coming in because of it. So one of our customers was like, hey, could you make me a to-go kit? Like, I know you're not open. And I'm like, oh, light bulb. Like, why didn't I think of that?
Yeah.
Genius.
Yeah.
And so then we just started advertising like, hey, to-go kits, curbside. So people would
go home and do it yourself.
Yeah. Wow. And so people would order online or they'd call or they'd like text us pictures of what they want to make. It was, and we just were going and going and going. And then big corporations like PayPal, LinkedIn, Yahoo, they'd order like 100 kits at a time. And honestly, because of those, I was just talking to, they just ordered a large order from us. And I told him, like, you're the reason we stayed afloat during COVID.
Yeah.
Like those big orders from those bigger companies.
Oh my God.
Like we appreciate
Were they just sending them out to the remote workers
too.
and stuff? Is that what they were doing?
Yeah.
Oh, it's almost like, hey, here's some more activity. We're thinking about you. Something.
Yeah. Well, they still do it now. They have a lot of like quarterly like activities for their employees and stuff.
Wow.
But yeah, I told them like those big orders, like, I don't know what we would have done. Yeah, for sure.
What an entirely new, I don't want to say division, but just another avenue of revenue, but also like scalability.
Yeah, I was just thinking you could scale that with online.
Oh my gosh!
Easily.
So I'm actually, I have my website's launching hopefully soon.
Woo!
It's a new website, and it's just to go kids, and there's subscription services, just nationwide. There's birthday party packages you can purchase.
Season packages.
What are you doing to promote it?
Well, it's still like it's getting built still. So hopefully
you can use this. We're going to talk about
in the next like month or so, it'll be launched. But it'll be my biggest advertisers are on like Pinterest or Instagram.
Oh, that is super cool. I think that'll
be the next scalability.
If you don't already use it, that kind of thing would crush on short form content.
Oh my gosh.
Like especially YouTube Shorts and Instagram Reels. It would crush on that stuff.
Our Instagram does really well with the Reels. We don't have any YouTube.
You should do YouTube Shorts just take all the ones you're using on Instagram and put them on YouTube Shorts for sure.
We don't have any like video capabilities of like a tripod like on my face situation. It's more like we use like Canvas down.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's all that we do.
That's all you need.
But you already have a bunch of content on Instagram, right? Just put it on YouTube Shorts.
You can still do it.
YouTube
if you have any Reels, put them on YouTube Shorts.
I mean,
YouTube is pushing the crap out of Shorts.
Just give her a little background of why I'm saying that. Of why you're saying that.
So my brother is famous on social media.
Oh.
And he has like over 6 million followers between everything he does. And I talk to him all the time. And I built my entire career in social media, like by marketing on there. And YouTube is putting, I think I want to say $50 billion into their Shorts program starting last month. So they are really pushing it. And my brother's content went from on YouTube Short getting like 100,000 views per short. Now it's getting like 3 million.
Oh my gosh.
Because they're pushing that so hard.
Wow.
YouTube is. So take advantage of it while it's hot.
Yeah.
To push that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? And everybody's still using TikTok and Instagram for the most part. And so it's a way undersaturated in YouTube Shorts right now.
Blue ocean kind of.
Yeah, it's like a blue ocean.
Well, and the other part of it too is the demographics of which YouTube is able to garner is way more detailed than Instagram, Facebook, and Snapchat.
Their algorithm is better too
because they go through Google
and they own Google.
So it's completely different in terms of how dialed in they can get and how you can truly target your most specific audience.
Yeah,
where I would consider it more like a sniper rifle, whereas in Facebook's more like a shotgun blast.
Yeah.
So it's just pretty cool. So that's what I'm thinking about. That's cool. I'm super hyped for you. That's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, hoping so.
I think that will
it'll help kind of scale it a little bit.
Yeah. So are you taking on some, what has that changed employment? Like are you bringing somebody to kind of handle that piece or are you just taking it on? Or?
Once it gets launched, I think I'll take on more people just to assemble kits and get like a brand, like a very specific branding situation going on.
Oh, that's gonna be awesome.
But yeah.
That's gonna be, I just think about that with our daughter uses I've got a gift of these like cutie. They're called Kiwi boxes.
The Kiwi crate.
Yeah, Kiwi crate. Basically, it's like a little craft project, and some of them are really cool, like science and based, and or some art. But she looks forward to that. But really, the bad part is once you're done with the project, it's really disposable. Like it's like, it's not gonna stay around. It's not meant to be kept for a long time.
What is it? Like
it's like for example, we just had one and we built a periscope. Okay. But it's out of cardboard, a stick-on mirrors, pretty basic, it can get crushed pretty easily.
Yeah.
But with like a take-home craft that's a door hanger or a wall hanger in a room, like they are using that every year.
True. Like keep it in the room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's super cool. And I think in the sense like, hey, we made that. Like I give out, cutting boards sometimes for closing gifts and stuff, or like cups. You want something they're going to see because like it reminds you of that instance which you did it. And I think that's awesome. I'm just like really, I'm just running through my mind of now you've literally blown up from one location.
That's pretty awesome.
To go locally to now you can ship across the country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in the moment, COVID seemed like a negative, right? But then it really just opened up this whole new avenue for you.
It's bizarre.
In a way, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Dude, it was such a good idea. And hopefully it does really well. We have some ideas for like, for different holidays like Grandparents' Day, let's say, where we could send out like a grandparent and grandchild sort of like do it together kits like that. Plus like the birthday parties or bachelorette parties if you wanted to order something to do together at home.
Yep.
It's going good.
Wow, that's cool. So from where it started at and where it's going, did you ever think I'd get to something like this? Or did you think, I'll just do this Makery for a little while and see what's going on?
I honestly don't think I had that far. So I'm not sure what I was thinking. I kind of have like that weird, like naivety, like, it'll be fine. Like,
you'll figure it out.
I'm sure it'll be fine. Everything always works out in one way or the other.
Yeah. Like ignorance is bliss kind of.
Well, a lot of times negatives turn into positives, right?
I try to have a pretty positive outlook on it all. So it's just, I don't know.
Yeah.
It might not work out the way but I don't even know how it's supposed to work out. So it just kind of works out then. If you don't have those expectations, then it's a great day.
That's a great point. I wish we thought more like that.
Well, one thing that's a great, you put on, I've always appreciated, you're like, you know what? Not that big a deal. We'll figure that out. Like very easy to let things run out. Where do you think that came from? Like, where did that, have you always been like that?
No, I don't know. I'm not sure.
Are your parents that way at all?
Yeah, they're a little more high strung.
Are they really?
I wonder if my mom's going to listen to this.
That's
okay.
That's all right.
Let's talk crap about your mom for the next
Okay. No, she's very type A. My mom's like super type A. Okay. And like, interesting. And maybe I'm just the opposite because of that. I don't know. Huh. She's not quite as creative maybe as me.
Yeah.
But honestly though, she's the one that I call when I'm like, crap, mom, I'm in over my head.
Oh yeah.
Like, shoot, I had this idea and I thought it was going to be cool. Like, I'll be there, Lindsay. This is how we're going to do it.
Let's do this,
cool. So those like, I feel like you need both.
Speaking of that, do you have any partners in the business or is it just you?
I don't. It's just me. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That is really cool.
Even better.
Yeah. It would have been nice to bring someone in maybe just to have someone to bounce ideas off of or that was just in it with you, but
kind of in the trenches.
That my husband's kind of that person, I guess, so
he's a good sounding board.
It sounds like your mom is a little bit too.
And my mom. Yeah.
And your dad's he's very handy. He knows how to do a lot of things too. So he kind of has a contractor kind of mind.
Yeah.
Always there to help. I think that's maybe one thing I've would you say has been very beneficial is like the people that you've been around have always been very giving of their time and talents. And that's been helpful.
Yes, definitely. Yeah. It takes a village for sure. Yeah. It's
so how did you get to go to, like what brought you, so you grew up in a small town in Nebraska, Cortland, home of Fog and Lager and Hallelujah beer, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's bought out now.
Yeah, I think he sold.
I remember going to the brewery in college. I thought it was the coolest thing ever. So this little small town.
Our friends used to own it. Yeah, it's small town. Everybody knows everybody.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. How many people live there?
About 400.
Yeah, 400.
I mean, like literally, you can yell across town. Everyone's like, I'm coming over later. It's not a lot of dirt streets. It's
for real.
There's a lot of cool parts to that though too.
There is. But and then you moved to big city. In Kansas? Have you ever lived anywhere else outside of that triangle?
Nope. It was Manhattan, Kansas for K-State, and then Omaha. So that's it.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's cool. What you mentioned in your bio specifically about a really fun babysitter you had?
Oh, when I was growing up?
Yeah. What was that?
No, I was just thinking about so my mom wasn't really crafty, but then these people that like babysat me or watched me were.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And so they'd have all these cool like craft projects, or I don't even know where they were finding them back then. There wasn't really the internet back then. I don't know, barely. So they'd have all these fun like things you could like shrinky dink sort of thing where you'd like color and then like bake something. So it like shrunk up. They were like clay projects and like watercoloring and like getting gathering leaves and like pressing them into certain things or like flower pressing. But I had my aunt watched me quite a bit. She's very crafty. And then I had a neighbor that was really crafty and then a girl down the street. But
that's cool.
And what does your dad do?
My dad's an electrician.
Oh yeah.
He's retired now, but his dad was a woodworker. Oh, wow. So his parents were very crafty.
So you have some of that in your DNA for sure.
Very industrious, by your bootstraps and your own hands.
But you said he's pretty handy too, right?
They're both very handy.
So like to be handy, you have to be almost a little creative.
I think you do too.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's very creative. Yeah. He has that same, him and I are pretty similar. He isn't creative like in a painting sort of way, but like in a building. And,
but those kind of can go hand in hand. They can kind of be cohesive.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, like most builders and people that I've met like that they're really creative.
Yeah,
like they seem so like hard shelled on the outside, but really inside they're like they're figuring out. They have this. Yeah, they see things a different way, and they like have a puzzle in their mind they're putting together the whole time. You know what I mean? So that does make sense if your dad's that way too.
Yeah.
Do you miss the architectural world at all?
I do.
Yeah.
But I think what I enjoyed about it isn't you can't really make a living like designing and designing and design. Like. I don't know. I don't know. Like it was just hard for me to figure out how to make it a career.
Yeah.
Because what I wanted to do, there wasn't really the money there for it, I guess.
Right. What about like designing custom homes or something?
It's there, but there's, I don't know. It isn't there though. Like nowadays, like all these contractors are doing all these homes. They don't even need an architect.
Yeah.
Like
CAD guy.
Yeah.
Or buying it online with somebody.
Or the lumber people will do it for free.
Seriously. Yeah.
Stuff like that.
And which is, I don't know, it's kind of sad. Like I thought architecture was such a beautiful like profession, you know, just creating these like great spaces and great buildings. But now a lot of the time, like, especially I really liked the residential aspect of it. Yeah. And all of that's kind of taken away with contractors and CAD designers and things, which is great for them too, I guess.
Yeah.
But
and you've obviously you've carved out your own niche now. It's kind of crazy too.
Totally.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. It's been fun. My spaces I've drawn up like in CAD, like my my Makery spaces. Yeah. Drawn them up and designed them in CAD, which is fun.
That's awesome. Yeah.
But
what's been your biggest surprise going through this so far? So you went through architecture, you opened up your own business. We're kind of searching for some business ideas while doing some family stuff before that. And now like through it to this point after 2015, you're in 8 years, you're like, man, I was not expecting that as a huge surprise. So what a great part of it, what piece of story.
I don't know. That's a good question. I think the to-go kits were like a really big surprise. I'm surprised it's still a business. I'm surprised that I don't know, like it started out so small and like such just a whim of an idea. Yeah. I'm surprised there aren't more competitors in town.
Yeah.
I was going to ask that.
There's so many people in Omaha. Yeah. And we get people every single day that are like, whoa, I've never heard of this place. Like, I just drove by and saw you and stopped in because we don't really advertise very well, I guess.
You don't have to probably, yeah.
And I think we're kind of overloaded the way we are just with the hiring shortage. And so we don't do a lot of advertising right now. Yeah. But I feel like there's so many people in Omaha. I can't believe there isn't another place like the Makery.
There isn't.
There's room for it. Like someone else should do it too. Like there's so many people in Omaha.
Yeah. Actually, my assistant has her own studio in her house that she does it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she has like a place for like 12 people or 10 people.
Yeah.
And she's doing like a summer camp of like
wonderful.
Kids,
Yeah.
But very similar.
Yeah.
She doesn't have the big CNC machine. That kind of like you can cut all your stuff when you're out, but she'll order them out and then she'll paint them up. So it's kind of very similar. Yeah. But I mean, obviously the nice thing with what yours is the variety is so vast. I mean, like you can bring back things people really liked. I mean, you're kind of building out almost like a loyal customer base because it's something that you can keep going back for. The price point of entry is like not absorbent. Like you can go in and like, oh, this is worth it. The time, the company, that kind of stuff is really cool. Have you, is your time involved been less or more over time?
It goes in waves for sure. Whenever there's like a growth spurt or if I'm trying to make some big moves, it definitely goes up. And then sometimes I just kind of chill for a bit, take a breath, let it kind of ride the way it is. And then I get a new big idea and then it kind of goes up again. I've been doing a really good job of not working like in the evenings and weekends when my kids are home and, just playing with them. Yeah. I definitely put my time in those first few years. And now it's nice to at least draw the line. Yeah. Draw the line there at least a little bit. Totally. But
when you mentioned COVID a little bit at the very beginning, being a small business owner, I mean, we are self-employed. You are employing other people and have a business. It's a little different. What was like, what was going through your head at that point in time? Like what were some of the conversations that you were having then you had to get past? Like in that, basically you had like I probably was like say maybe a 3-week window. You're like, WTF, what was kind of going on at that time?
I lost a lot of employees during COVID. They just were scared to come to work. Yeah. Of course they were. Yeah. So, that was pretty tricky. But I mean, I don't know. I'm not a very good, being a creative person. I'm not a very good business person all the time as far as like being a boss and saying like, hey, like these are the rules. This is what, or like, if someone says they can't do it, they can't do it. I have no way to make them do it.
Yeah, I agree. Like, so, there's nothing.
If someone needs like a mental health day, like I have no
What are you going to say? No, you don't need it. Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I feel like I'm an overly empathetic person and whatever their situation is or what their
probably could hurt you some.
Sometimes it does a little bit. I wish I could be a little bit more like, this is how we do things. But
I think it probably maybe even adds to your ability just to kind of get past it. It's like, it's just the way it is. Okay, well, let's move on.
And it works out. And luckily, like, I don't know, my whole team, I've been so blessed with like the best team.
Cool.
Like everyone just kind of rolls with it. They help each other. They're so talented.
I imagine you attract that a little bit with how you
hopefully,
are.
Yes. Yeah, hopefully. But
what's been your biggest struggle or obstacle overall as far as like running your own business?
just not being there all the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I wish it's hard to like, I wish there was like 5 more of myself to do things or, you know, to be involved. Sometimes I miss not being there on a Saturday and getting to see all my favorite regulars or
he's there and everything too.
Yeah, I do. And I definitely enjoy my weekends at home or with my family, but gosh, it's so much fun in there on the weekends. Just the energy of the place and just getting to see like everyone's projects and just talk to everybody.
What are your hours there?
On Saturdays, it's 10 to 7. Okay. Sunday is 12 to 5. And then during the week, it's 12 to 9.
Okay.
Yeah,
I imagine your busiest day is probably Friday, Saturday.
Saturday, Sunday are kind of the big ones.
Okay.
Yeah, we thought about expanding hours, but without more employees,
it'd be tough to do.
Yeah.
Do you think this is a thing where you could replicate location either within Omaha or outside Omaha?
Yeah, my husband and I talk about it all the time, like opening something up in Lincoln because there isn't really anything in Lincoln like this.
And there's enough word of mouth. That's not very far placed for word of mouth to travel.
Yeah. Sure. We actually get a lot of our followers are from Kansas City and they're like, come here, open up one in Kansas City.
Really interesting.
But I think with young kids, like there's no way. Like,
oh yeah, you're just not in a place.
If I had like a business partner or if I had a team maybe that was, you know, in it like full time, but all my employees are part-time. Yeah. A lot of them are going to school or have their own things going on. So I don't know, without that like solid team to like help, I don't think I could do it in this stage, but
interesting.
I'm hoping the website and shipping kits gives me a little more flexibility because if I need to like ship 100 kits overnight, like after my kids are sleeping, I can, like I can put in that hustle work. Whereas if it's something like a brick and mortar location where I have to be there from certain hours and if no one's there, I have to be there. I think
you're going the right route. I think you're going the right route.
Yeah. It's another level of commitment for sure.
Totally. But one thing that's nice too, is what you're producing is it creates its own culture. Like the creativity creates its own culture. It's not necessarily contingent upon you being there to infuse energy, which I think is like really important to be able to leverage out your time properly. And that's just kind of came to realizations like when your hands are busy doing something creative, people are generally in a better mood.
That's true.
Right?
That's true.
Yeah.
Right? Versus like grudging through something or listening to something. That doesn't really happen. But because you're doing something creative where there's a beginning and end, people enjoy that process, and it's not facilitated by you giving them a pat on the back. They see it. It's a complete different vibe because it's being created by the creator, not by the person who's providing the space.
Right. It's true.
It's funny you say that. Once in a while, we'll get a customer that comes in that like does not want to be there.
Right.
My daughter my daughter drugged me here. Like, fine, we're having a girls' day. Like, I am not creative. I hate this. I've never been creative. It's probably gonna turn out like crap. Like, like that sort of attitude. And we're just so patient. My girls are so patient. Walk them through it step by step. Crafting is easy. Like we have, it's not like fine art. It's crafting. It's not that hard. It's just like an enjoyable, relaxing sort of thing to do. And it's so fun just to see these people come in just upset to be there and they just know it's going to turn out crappy. I swear.
I'm not going to lie. I'm laughing.
I totally can see all this.
Can I just buy this instead? Like they say that all the time. I'm like, no. You're going to be okay. It's going to be more fun to paint it. And just like walking them through it and helping them. And they're like, holy crap, I made this. Like, this is real. Like I did this. And seeing that light bulb, like, I don't know.
It's funny because I had that exact experience with my wife one time, but at a pottery place. She was like, let's go to this pottery place. I was like, you got to be freaking kidding me. I'm not going to a damn pottery place. You know what I mean?
Did you say pottery?
I'm a man. You know what I mean? I'm not going to pottery. And then we go in there. I was like, I guess give me the damn mug. Okay. Paint the mug, I got so into it. I was like taping off stuff, making designs. It was like sick when I got finished with it. And then once it was done being cooked, I was like, this is the coolest mug. I was so like proud of it. And she laughed at me all the time because I used that mug until I shattered it in an accident one time. Yeah. But I used it for like 2 years straight.
Yeah.
I would always be like, I made this to everybody I talked to. So I totally relate to that.
Whenever guys come into the shop, they always they get into it.
Oh yeah.
Like more so than the women. Yeah. And it has to be so complicated. Yep. And I'm like, can't we just this is simple. This would be nice. Just keep it simple. No. Like,
that's what I did.
I don't need any help. I'm like, all right, do your thing.
Funny,
well, I think one thing we did the Pinot and pour stuff, or painting and Pinots, or whatever, which that's, I would say, in the same genre, right? Yeah. But the reality is when you get done, you're seeing everybody else's and you're like, mine still sucks.
And I did that and I was like, mine's better than everybody.
Well, and I have a and so mine didn't turn out bad, but I could see other people like, this is not a great fit for them. But with this, Usually they'll do after a pit, and like everybody, even there's some variants. Everybody's like, yeah, I'd hang that on my door every day. Like I have no problem. So it's the barrier of entry is low.
Yep.
The sense of accomplishment is high.
Yep.
And then like what you said, the gratification from the staff to the participant and vice versa. That's a huge freeway that's open, which is awesome, of just emotional capital being changed back and forth, which I love. I think that's really freaking cool. And I think that's maybe the secret sauce.
Probably is.
I didn't think about it on the outside, just that ability of that person to self-create. You facilitate the guardrails and you say, go on, little one, do your thing, That's sweet. Young man, you can do this.
Yes.
Yeah.
We hear that a lot where people are like, wow, like I could have bought this for the same price that I just made it with. Yeah. It's like the price point as far as,
Oh, yeah.
And then I got to enjoy it with my friends. So it was like a memory that I made. Yes. Plus I actually want to hang it up. I went home with something, it wasn't just like I paid $40 and I don't go home with anything, you actually like go home with something that you enjoy. And I think that's kind of special.
And I think you mentioned the scenario or the story about the mom who didn't really be there, the daughter did. I could see it being the vice versa in today's world with everybody saw in the video games and like, their hands kind of, and like, man, but a young girl or young kids, and they go, his mom is going to have a mom-son date. And he's like, and then he gets done. He's like, no, I just painted my door hanger for soccer season. This is freaking cool, or football season. Like, yeah. And yes, you will hang that up, Mom. Yes, you will. And it looks good.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's super cool, man. Yeah. That's awesome. Huh.
Yeah. We're working on some more like community outreach sort of situations where, so in the projects that we offer are like the painted door hangers. We have these tall front porch signs. There's like stenciled wooden signs for your home. There's string art where you hammer nails around a pattern.
Oh, yes.
And then you like string it up with yarn.
Yes. Yeah.
We have like some banners and like felt flowers and button art, just kind of crafts like that. And most of those crafts are easier. So they can be done where you just drop in and make it. No big deal. Okay. So we're trying and starting to bring in outside artists that teach something a little bit more fine art-esque.
Oh, okay.
So maybe someone that does something with like not ceramics, but like molding clay onto a canvas maybe, or embroidery, like floral arranging, a cookie decorating, bringing in those outside like artists where it's like one class that someone signs up for at a very specific time. Yeah. And these outside experts come in and teach. Yeah. And then they get to talk about their business and like show kind of like a little bit of what they do and kind of hand that off to someone else. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Oh, no, absolutely.
Awesome. We used to do that a lot more before COVID, and we've been having a hard time like getting back into it, but it's definitely.
Why do you think it's been hard to get back into it?
I don't know. I think a lot of people just stopped doing things during COVID, maybe. Just not
went back and got a job or something.
Got an I don't know, not an actual job, but you know, like some sort of like 9-to-5 job.
Right.
But I'm not sure. It's just hard to find people to come in. But
did you? And you guys said it was interesting through the code. You guys had some great accounts that had picked up orders for more group oriented stuff and mass dissemination there. Do you think it was hard regaining momentum, or did you like through your business, or do you think it was that allowed you to keep the momentum? Because I think a lot of people had a hard time starting back up.
Sure.
I think it allowed to keep the momentum.
Nice.
Yeah.
When like the government said that 10 people could come inside like libraries, we were like, we're kind of like library or kind of like a Target or whatever. So we'd allow like 10 people and space them out. Yeah. And we'd always fill up with those 10 people.
That's good.
So I think that's something about the service industry, like having a business where it's not necessarily retail, like it's an experience sort of business.
Yeah.
I think those sorts of businesses are just maybe a little bit like they're pretty successful just because people are always looking for something to do. Yeah. Just something new to try the experience sort of.
That niche has a lot of runway.
It does. Because it's adults and kids, it's parties, it's moms groups. It's
not a one trick pony. That's a lot.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. When I was in college, I was living on campus or near the center. I was working out for sports and stuff. And they had a large group of roughly like 40 to 75-year-old men come in that were doing woodworking. The whole weekend was wood carving. Mm-hmm. And they had like, there's like a different style where you go from like rough square block, raw, to like one would be roughly tumbled to the shape, and then you sort of carve out to fine tune it. Mm-hmm. And that's what that weekend was. So they spent like 6 hours a day BSing over coffee and probably a couple glasses of whiskey by the end of the day and just carving away the little yard gnomes. And they said they had 50 people there.
Yeah.
I mean, this is back before any of this kind of stuff. Heard about probably in the Hobbyist magazine or the their local hardware store in the back. Like, this is interesting. So you can see like the internet has allowed people's creativity to flourish because you can find other communities to be able to be a part of. Yeah. Have you guys I feel like with going with the next stage of the, take home kits or like delivery kits, I mean, you're only tapping the surface of like where this could go. Have you seen any place across the country that does similar things?
Not really.
Oh my gosh.
Really?
We've done some pretty extensive research. And even like the shapes that we cut in-house, like the different, even the words, the letters, all the things, there isn't someone that really sells them on a big scale.
Oh my gosh.
Just by themselves without the paints and brushes. It's bizarre.
It's really weird.
Yeah.
Oh, I even think about, I mean, if you send this is just an idea. This is free. Okay. You have a QR code that goes out with it, and then you play that QR code, and that's directly to your YouTube page of that instructional manual.
Yeah, how to do this one.
How to do this one.
It'd be so easy.
Yep. And then in that, it's the same QR code for the Easter Bunny, whatever, right? But then in that, people will ask questions, and over time, you can build out that response back and forth. So they're gonna get all their questions answered. Hey, whatever that might be.
Yeah.
And that would be, create that community a little bit too. And so people don't feel like they're left out if other people do it. And then you can see everybody else's finished products or whatever. And then that way it's not so much time where you're redoing it every time. It's just once, and then and then people in your office can do their own versions of it or whatever, which is cool.
Totally.
Yeah. We were talking about like a door hanger of the month where like on the first Saturday of the month or something, they like log on live somewhere and like paint it with you with other people or that sort of thing. But
Bob Ross style.
Kind of. Yeah.
Oh yeah. That would be
Bob
funny.
Ross is awesome.
He was an icon, man.
I know.
Yeah. Oh, that's fun.
But yeah, I feel like there's a lot of avenues, but
the hard part is you got to pick a couple and do them versus what me and him are both bad at this is like you have like 40 ideas and you're like,
my gosh,
which one do you do? Which one's the best? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you can like pick them, implement for a while, and then move on if they work or don't work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But you have to pick only a couple.
Is this fully engaging you right now? Because you said like you're kind of bored, kind of like complacent or wasn't quite scratching the itch fully. Is this really doing it?
It is. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. I'm enjoying it. And
that's awesome.
It's the way that it's growing.
Yeah.
And yeah, for sure.
I mean, you can see how it's budding. You know what I mean? Like you mentioned, we're learning how to scale, reach bigger audiences. It's a low barrier of entry. We have not a lot of people across the country are doing this at any type of level.
Blue Ocean.
I mean, it's blue. I mean, you're creating your own niche. It's really cool.
We've talked about Blue Ocean 10 times in this podcast.
I know it's real though. I'm reading the book.
Are you familiar with it?
No.
Okay. So the basic premise of it, we've explained it a few times. I feel like everybody's gonna be like, why do they keep talking about this? But the basic premise of there's a book called The Blue Ocean Strategy. And the whole idea of it is pick something that is way less competition. So like most oceans, like real estate, for example, is extremely red ocean because there's not very many fish and a ton of sharks feeding on it. So it's blood in the water everywhere because everybody's trying to feed off the same thing.
Yep.
Versus what you're doing is very blue because there's only one shark and fish everywhere. You know what I mean?
Makes sense. Yeah.
So, and it's the easiest businesses to grow in is the blue ocean.
And you've actually created an entirely new niche, which would be their example would be Cirque du Soleil. Back when Barnum Bailey's circus was going, everybody's kind of had these knockoffs that were stationary and they took it on the road, large overhead, big animals, lots of staff. Well, Cirque du Soleil created more of a theater-based experience where you come to it and more theater and theatrics and like production, but with the elements of danger and fear through like what was going on in the circus. And so they've created their own entire ocean that really knows niche. Know what you're doing. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah. That's the easiest businesses to scale by far.
Yeah.
Or you can go to business like what we have is what we have. We're in a red ocean business, real estate, but you can pick a blue ocean niche within that real estate, which is what we do. So you have to do something like that. But most people are just in a red ocean trying to survive.
Yeah. Or working for somebody else competing in another red ocean.
Right. Yeah. It's so true. Yeah. Or they're one of the alpha companies in that ocean, which makes it a blue ocean, basically.
That's probably a lot of why the Makery survived, or there's some sort of statistic out there about how many small businesses survive. Yeah. Like, I don't remember. So many people told me when I first started and I don't.
Yeah. Oh, overall businesses?
Yeah. Like,
it's like 90% of businesses fail in the first 10 years.
Something like that. Yeah. Yes.
What do you think has been the hardest or pros, cons being self-employed? What is some of the things you've loved and other things that make it very difficult?
I don't know. I heard this quote one time where it was like, I gave up my 40-hour a week. I work 80, so I don't have to work 40.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like that feels very true.
I know.
I don't know why I enjoy it.
Yeah, it's weird. It's like I'd rather be doing this.
It's because it's your own terms.
Oh,
yeah, man. It's nice being able to set my own schedule. Yeah. Like, hey, we want to take a little trip here, or spend time with my kids and my husband.
100%.
I don't like being told what to do, maybe. So maybe that's part of it too. Like I can
me too.
Nobody can hound me about what I should be doing.
Yeah, right. I'll do it.
So so I don't know. Maybe I enjoy that.
Totally.
I don't know. The creativity is nice. I don't know. I feel very proud of it. I guess. I don't know.
That's awesome.
You should. So, you create a beautiful thing that's even going beyond.
Biggest cons?
Probably those exact same things, but in the con life.
I
work 80 hours instead of 40. I have to try to tell myself what to do. It's really hard.
No one telling you what to do.
It's hard.
Positive and negative.
It's hard. Yeah. No time. No structure. No structure probably is a bad thing. Yeah. Probably those same things, but
I agree.
I don't know.
Yeah. It's the same way.
The idea of when you're a self-employed owner of a business, like the comment of, well, I'll just do it tomorrow. Nobody's there holding you to that. So you can live in that space, which is also brutal. Like, well, I'll just do it tomorrow. Or I didn't get to do, well, if it's always tomorrow, it never gets done either. So there's some elements of like trying to learn some self accountability there.
That's why I'm so into the like time management strategies and focus strategies. And definitely.
Do you do anything that, you said the big three kind of idea. Is there some things that you have honed in that really work for you that, hey, I start the day off, I plan the night before, just let a list?
I'm a big planner. I use a physical planner for sure. That helps me a lot using the big three sort of idea.
Explain the big three to me.
The big three is where instead of writing down 100 things that you have to do, maybe you do that, but you choose your big three that are really going to just like make a difference for your day, or for maybe your big goal that you have in the back of your mind for like a big project you're working on. What's one thing you could do today that would like make a difference, even if it's like a phone call you have to make or an email you have to respond to, just like that's been annoying and on your list of things to do. So you choose just like three things.
3 things in different categories, or they could be in the same category?
It can be anything. Yeah. Just your big three. My husband and I sometimes will do it on a Saturday. Like, what's your big three today? Yeah. And I'll say, I'm going to clean out the trash cans I don't know.
There is something about putting on a list and like checking off the list. Oh, so satisfying.
I love doing that. I'm a big note guy. Yeah.
Yes.
I've always followed the power list, which is like Andy Frisella. You know who he is?
I don't.
He's like big into sales development space. Now really big in political space now. He's like switched focus, but power list is almost identical, but 5 critical tasks that you have to do for the day. And at the way his actual physical list is laid out is if you don't cross off all 5, you have to circle a big loss for the day, that you lost the day. And I'm too competitive to circle that. So I just have to finish it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm like 5 critical, and they have to be like critical tasks. One of the tasks can't be
feed my dog, like a normal chore.
No. Or even like if you work out every day and that's a normal thing for you, you can't put it on there because it's already a habit. It has to be something you're trying to make a new habit. So it'd be like, like for example, I need to make 50 phone calls today. Like in real estate, that's a pretty normal thing. Okay, I'm trying to create that habit. I have to make the 50 or else I completely lost the day.
50 phone calls? Shit, I couldn't do that.
Well, either
sounds like it's hard to do.
A lot of days.
But, or like for today, for example, one would be get this podcast done. One would be edit a video, whatever stuff that you don't have as a habit. You have to it's creating habits. Basically.
It's been and keep the ball moving.
And every day you're winning. You're stacking up wins. And you're telling yourself, I won today. I won today. I won today. It's been my biggest catalyst, I think, to get better, which is really similar to what you're saying. It's just 5 instead of 3, whatever.
I think one of my big things too has been realizing that I'm a perfectionist. I didn't think I was, because nothing in my life is perfect by far. Messy kitchen, messy, closet, whatever. Like definitely not my purse, like my car. Holy crap! Like no. So like I couldn't be a perfectionist, but I was kind of reading more about it and listening to a podcast about it. And being a perfectionist, like your life doesn't have to look perfect, but maybe you procrastinate these big projects, or you can't quite get them done because you're trying to make them so perfect in your head that they don't get done. And you blame it on like, too many ideas, not enough time, whatever. But really it's like this perfectionism idea. And so just like keeping the ball rolling, just constantly like, let's just do it. Let's just do it. Let's launch it and see what happens. Let's
Interesting.
throw it out there. And
it's a great.
See, I am not that way at all. Are you that way? Like you have to make things perfect?
Well, I know that I really like things to be a certain way. I want things that be perceived a certain way when I see it. Like if I'm at a restaurant, I'm like, why are they not doing it this
way?
It was going to look better. Like it's going to be a better presentation. I'm going to feel better about my experience. Or, if I'm going into an appointment, like I want to make sure that this and this is all right. If I don't have this, is it going to make you look different in terms of how you're trying to be perceived? So that kind of thing is for sure. My car is definitely not clean.
See, I like just efficiencies. I'm like, I want to make stuff as simple as possible, just to get it, get it done, get it done regardless. Like my goal is just to get it done.
Yeah.
And I'm cool with it being 80% versus 100% as long as I can get the volume out of whatever it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even like my car, I feel like my car is always at like 80 to 90% perfect. It's never perfect, but it's always 80. I feel like everything in my life's kind of that way. It's like 80%.
Twice a week, my daughter's like, Dad, you got to clean this car up. I'm like, I just did yesterday. It doesn't look like it, Dad. I'm like,
dang, if your daughter calls you
I feel like
out,
if she can say that, she can grab a vacuum.
Yes, I think you're right. I'm like, hey,
I don't know.
Pick your trash up after you get out of here. Those Kleenexes, those wrappers, those alphabet crackers.
I can't handle that stuff, dude. It's so gross.
I know.
But that kid stuff in the backseat, I'll clean the car and like 3 hours later, there's 30 pieces.
And they weren't even in there yet.
I'm like, what just happened? Yeah, they weren't in there yet. You didn't think they were anyways. And I'd like clean the inside of the window. Smears ever. Yeah, that's the worst.
I do have a question about the personality trait of you being able to let things go very easily.
It's an awesome trait. Yeah.
Which is freeing.
Yeah.
But how have you managed or do you have to manage any type of fear or apprehension of doing something with that? Like, has there been any elements of just caution or with that ability, but you just, we'll see. Are you ever?
I honestly don't.
That's awesome.
That is awesome.
But sometimes, I don't know. I guess it hasn't blown up in my face yet.
No, yeah.
But I don't know.
I think it's
I wouldn't even say it's I wouldn't say it's even like an element of confidence.
Okay.
I would say it's just like pure naivety or maybe
trust and faith.
I don't have that side of my brain that overthinks it. I just kind of
cool.
I don't know.
I think that's awesome.
I think it drives a lot of my family crazy.
Really?
What are you doing? Have you planned this through? What do you, I'm not one that watches YouTube videos to show me how to do it or reading reviews, for sure not.
Yeah.
Just, I don't know.
No, I think that's awesome because I consider myself a fairly confident person, but I even am I don't know, kind of not fear, but definitely and then eventually I have to literally just blank out and just go. I just do it. Close your eyes, walk through the door. And then I'm like, oh, this isn't bad.
Yeah.
But I think that's awesome. I just think that's a really great, I think it's a great tip for anybody. It's it's all going to work out. It's just,
do you have a fear of it not working out ever?
I don't even think I think about it not working out.
Wow, that's cool.
But I really don't think it's confidence because I wouldn't describe myself as a confident person.
I think it's a personality.
I think it's just it's pure naivety. No one's gonna die. We'll try it.
Yeah.
So my mom used to say that no one died. No one died.
Yes.
It's fine. I think it's more just that
oh, that's beautiful. That's cool.
That is
good for you, Lindsey. That's awesome. That's a really great place to be mentally. Does it annoy your husband at all?
I was going to say, except for all the flames behind me, my husband's trying to put out.
James picking everything up.
Let's be real. Yeah, he's juggling everything.
That's hilarious.
He doesn't look. He's like, oh, okay, he's yeah.
Does he work somewhere else, or does he work with you?
No, he's a government employee. Okay. He's a pretty an office job.
Okay,
yeah, but
so very different.
Very opposite personality types. Yeah,
that's pretty cool though.
So I think sometimes it stresses him out, where he'll be like, "Holy crap! What are you thinking? What was your plan here?" I think he said that a lot of times.
What's your plan here?
What was your plan here?
You're like, I don't have a plan.
I don't know. I just thought it'd work out. I feel like that right there is a very
that's
that conversation / argument has happened many times.
That's hilarious.
When something is not falling apart, but when I'm like, crap, what was I thinking here?
What kind of losers have plans?
What was your plan here? I don't know. I just thought it would happen.
That's awesome.
And it usually, it ends up, but yeah, it's.
So in kind of wrapping things up, there's a lot of big things that have happened. So new space, new ventures of shipping kits out about how to do these, new launch website being launched, which is a big deal. A whole new kind of venture. We didn't get to talk.
I don't know. I'm hoping a couple weeks, maybe a few weeks.
So this podcast will come out in 3 weeks, or we could delay it if you wanted it to, just so it's right when you do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Just let us know on that.
I'll have to talk to my website.
Yeah. If it's going to be 4 weeks, might as well delay it a week. Yeah. That way it's fresh when your website's on. We can put the link in here.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah.
Well, I'm actually super happy for you guys. I'm excited to see how it goes. And I would love to follow it back up in 6 months and see how it's going, just to understand the new intricacies of that type of business.
It's called I'veGotTheJoy.com.
I've Got the Joy. Dang, that's a good website
that
to
is
score.
A really good website.
Yeah. In college, my buddies and I, back, the internet was new. There were so many domain names,
Yeah.
Were you buying domain names?
Oh my gosh, hundreds of them.
That is brilliant.
That is awesome. Did you buy your name?
No, it was already taken, but hundreds of domain names and just selling them. Buy, sell, buy,
Look
sell.
at this.
That's awesome.
Beer money right there.
Yeah. So I've got the joy you kept.
Yep. And I have it.
What a score.
I think I own 50 or so right now that are just kind of like punny or
catchy.
Yeah.
Do you have them out there to be people that can buy them?
Yeah, they're out there.
You're brokering them?
Yeah.
That's badass. That is super cool.
Well, awesome. Back when nobody...
Very cutting edge. When, that was very forward.
Yeah.
When the PlayStation came out, PlayStation 1, I bought domains for PlayStation and those went like crazy.
Oh my God. I wish you would have kept them until now.
When the first iPhone came out, I had the very first iPhone and I had iPhone domain names.
Oh my God.
That's iPhone ridiculous. For cheap or, just silly things like that. Yeah. But in college, I don't know. Just
what a foresight. That's awesome.
Brilliant.
What
you're a genius.
I've got thejoy.com. Seems like a score of a website.
Joy. It's easy. It's easy. You can distinguish all the letters. It's good.
Yeah.
I've been trying to buy
the joy of crafting to your home.
Yes. I love that.
I love it.
I've been trying to buy my name from this guy for 3 years. ChristianMorrison.com. I've been trying to buy it for 3 years. I have this broker I've been dealing with. I started off as dude, I'll give you $1,000.
Well, wait a minute. What was he offering on the brokerage side?
He what? Oh, so the broker guy, he charged $80 plus 10% of the deal.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, whatever. You have to pay me $80 up front, whatever, right? So I was like, I offered the guy $1,000 to buy the domain to start. He comes back 7 months later. I'll do it for 10,000.
Just for your name.
He doesn't use it. It's just sitting there. And I was like, no, dude, it's not that important to me.
Yeah.
Although I was slightly constipated. I was like, well, maybe I should. But I was like, okay. And I just went back with, I can just do 1,000. Didn't hear from him for a year. Comes back a year later, 10,000. So that's where we're at right now. We're at 10,000 still. So I don't know what I'm having with it, but if you're listening, sell it to me for $1,000. Please.
But thanks so much, Lindsey. Yeah. We've had a blast. This has been a lot of fun. Very interesting getting the behind the scenes look of the Makery. That's super cool on you.
Good.
Yeah, thanks for sharing.
Yeah, thanks for coming in. Thanks for your time.
Thank you for having me. Of course. Cool.